let's hear it for Shirley Ballas behind the glass. Listen to that. They love you, don't they?
They do.
They love you. Shirley Ballas, Dance to the Death. Are you doing any TV at the moment?
Strictly Come Dancing.
No way.
Biggest show in the country.
Get out of here. Good for you. A place of joy and nothing but.
Does that count as one of your questions?
Yeah, I don't know. Shirley Ballas says, no, Shirley Ballas doesn't say anything. Anton Dubek says on the front cover of the book, I loved it. We loved it too. Nobody's read it all the way through, but we are loving it thus far. Once again, the dancing detectives are back. Who might they be?
Well, Lily, Richmond, me, of course, and Susie Cooper.
Yeah.
And, you know, my boyfriend was Javier, so that's not working out as it should have worked out before. So there's all sorts of spice and sizzle going on. Maybe it was a flash in the pan relationship,
Guys,
like all my relationships.
Spice and sizzle. What do you think about that? Spice and... I know. I say spice, you say...
Sizzle!
I say sizzle, you say...
Spice!
And that's nice.
And you see... Catty, bitchy, backstabbing, lying, deceit, manipulating, with all the rivals. I've got all that going on in the book. It's set at the Royal Albert Hall.
Of course it is.
And it is a little bit of a gulf between the rich and the poor, me obviously coming from the poor side there.
Yeah.
And then we've got Persephone Keats, who's a multi-billionaire, comes from a family, an heiress. Yeah. She dies on the steps in the Royal Albert Hall. Who murdered Persephone Keats.
All right, so the whole point about there are 3 billionaires' kids, basically, who have signed up to get the best dancing coaches in the world.
That's right.
Now, does that? I'm guessing that happens.
Of course.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, you know, like you have people who can't afford anything, and then you've got those that just have everything and think they can buy their way to the top irregardless.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to sort of I had this vision that, you know, about a jewel heist. I mean, because real diamonds, and sometimes if you mix them all up with stones, you know, where are they in this saga going on? You know, bling-tastic. Got a lot of bling-tastic going on. I've got these billionaires and then I've got poor people and they're all trying to manipulate their way to the very top.
One way or another.
One way or another.
And they're sort of working from the outside in because none of it's really to do with talent, is it? Because they're just trying to be the sum of their parts as opposed to being... Because real talent is more than the sum of your parts, I think.
Right. Well, you know, some people have a little bit of talent. I had a little bit of talent, but I worked hard.
Yeah.
Some people have no talent at all and buy their way to the top. I mean, I'm in an industry where it's evolution is just going on constantly in my industry. It's changing, even judging at the Winter Garden at the Royal Albert Hall last week. You know, you see all the shenanigans that are going on, all sorts of this and that, and it's true life.
Oh my gosh.
It's true life. People don't want to talk about it. But it is. Well, the next one's going to be set at the Bic Centre at the United Kingdom Championship. So we had the Tower Ballroom.
Yes.
Been there all my life.
Yes.
Then we've got the Royal Albert Hall, been there all my life. And the next one in this Sequin Mysteries will be at the Bic Centre at the United Kingdom Championship.
All right, this is also set at Christmas at the Royal Albert Hall. It doesn't get more Christmassy than that.
You know, just when Susie Cooper and Lily thought they were going to have this fantastic Christmas, here goes the murders, and they step in again to attempt to solve them. Now, my mother never even got the murderer, so hello, because normally she's good at guessing when she reads my book. She loves it, but she never got who it was. So I'm interested to see when they read, can they guess who's murdered this beautiful girl? So
cool, Shirley. So it's at the Albert Hall. You have 3 billionaires' kids who have signed up to be coached by the best in the world. One of those people happens to be you. And as you say, this does go on, doesn't it?
Yes.
We met some people a couple of months ago at one of our dues, and their granddaughters were going to Hungary for the World Championships.
Oh, well, we have World Championships all over the world in all different levels.
Tell me more.
Well, every level from juvenile, under 12, under 16, under 18 and so on, all the way up to 40. People are dancing in World Championships all over the world. Each year it's assigned to a different country.
And they were really excited. So they turned into a family holiday. There were 2 sisters, their mums and dads, they had to use the budget for the holiday to do this instead, but that's okay because they all loved it. And then grandma and granddad flew over for a few days as well. And is that the kind of thing that goes on? Is that how it is?
Well, it goes on all the time. It's a real family affair when it's the younger ones under 16.
So everybody's signed up, everybody's bought into it.
Everybody's bought into it who's into it. They're all striving to get those results, and then you throw in all the politics, and then you throw in all the tales and stories, and he did, she didn't mark. Right now we've got somebody in our industry analysing everybody's marks to see if somebody didn't mark somebody to go in the final. It's a whole website people are going to, and they're trying to make out if this one's a crook or that one's a crook. It's just unbelievable.
And is that because of reputation? Is that because people want something they can't get elsewhere in life, or is it always down to the dirty smell of money in the end?
Well, I think that people try to make it out that it's that way. I mean, I didn't have any money, so it was never about money with me. But I think people try to make things that are always negative. You know that, whether it's around a TV show or on my industry or any industry. Yeah. People are always looking for the dirt.
Yeah. Do people who love strictly the show, the TV show, are they your readers? You know, is it the same gang? Do you think some people might read the books and not watch the show? Do you think some people might watch not the show and not engage with the books? Or is it part and parcel? Does reading a Shirley Ballas dance detective thriller around the time of the year when Strictly's on, does it all feed into each other?
Well, actually, I've been to many book clubs and been part of different things, and there are a lot of people who don't watch the show that have really enjoyed reading the books.
And does it get them to the show in the end?
So I think in the end, possibly it does, because people think it's set behind those scenes, when in actual fact it's not. It's set in my industry. Right. But you can say my industry, but it's any industry. There's all, you know what it's like, manipulation, backstabbing, lying in any industry. It goes on, and if we don't think it does, then we're naive.
You are absolutely right about that. What's different, though, I think about ballroom dancing is that it's cloak and dagger, but it's more difficult for it to be done sort of in the dark shadows of what's going on, because it's such a public thing, and because there are hotels involved, and you can't avoid, in certain buildings, you can compartmentalize yourself off. You never see people you work with for 20 years. But in ballroom dance, it's different. There's also a performative essence to it. So you can't take any kind of backstage, mood on stage with you, or at least you're not supposed to.
No, you're not supposed to. But in our industry, all those that are fighting, bullying, this going on, we meet all the time. Yeah. We see each other all the time. Everybody knows everybody.
And it messes with your emotions so much, doesn't it? Because do you have two personas, one backstage, one on stage?
Me personally, no. When I'm employed to do something, I go in and I do my job, and I stay in my lane, Chris.
Right, that's what you do.
So I don't deviate outside my lane, whether I'm on Strictly or whether I'm in my own industry. And I like to feel that I can judge without fear or favour, and that it's what I like on the day. So when other people now are trying to pull out people's marks and check marks, it's an opinion. It's your opinion when you're booked to judge a world championship. And just because you like it, Chris, it doesn't mean I might like it. You might think something's first. I might think it's sixth. You might think it goes in the final. I might think it doesn't go in the final.
This is the thing, though. It's about judgment, isn't it? Because if you score a goal on a football pitch, it's a goal.
That's correct.
It's definitive, isn't it?
This is subjective, this industry.
Yeah, and if it's like diving, or if it's ice skating, and ballroom dancing, because it's down to opinion, therefore it's down to you. People are there to be swayed,
and that is why on the main championships, United Kingdom Championships, and at the Royal Albert Hall, the International Championships, we have the best panels in the world, because they put 21 judges on. Right. So there's a massive amount of judges, which allows for all sorts of different opinions. And in my opinion, they get the result right.
And can you give us an example, if there are any? By the way, if there aren't, it doesn't matter. We'll move on to something else. Of safety measures that are put in place to ensure fair judging. Are there principles? Are there protocols? Or does it have to be mostly trust, which is why it is fallible?
Well, they say to you when you go in to judge any of these championships, please judge without fear or favour, not what you saw yesterday, not what you think somebody can do. Which is similar to Strictly, really. Yeah. In the dance-off, judge what you see right now, not where you think they can go, not what they did last week, but what you see right now in the moment. So Bishop, it's similar to that. John
Bishop's just been in, right? You know John very well. And John, we like laughing with John because we like John. He's also very funny, because you have to be funny. We like watching James Corden because we like James Corden. We like watching Dawn French because we like Dawn French. When for judging on Strictly or wherever else you may be judging, if you like someone, it has to affect your opinion of them. And that's not a bad thing, because that is also part of a person's quality.
Well, relationship building in an industry is important.
Can you sort of, even technically and sort of, is it okay for you to get points for the fact people like you?
Well, I don't do that, so I can't speak for other people because I've got people I've trained. Because the thing in our industry is you're training people and you're judging the same people.
Right.
That's one of the issues.
Conflict there, isn't
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Built-in conflict.
So that's why you have to be honest. And I always do a follow-up with anybody of my teams. If I haven't marked them well, I give them a good reason why I haven't marked them well. And it could be somebody it could be you doing the cha-cha-cha or the rumba. And I love you dearly, but your footwork was not good.
She gave me a look then. Like, maybe you should be doing the cha-cha-cha.
You know, it's not good. So I consider myself to be as honest as can be. So
can I ask you about fitness? Because we've never really talked about fitness before.
You think I'm looking pretty fit? I lost a few pounds going on there. I've been working hard.
You look amazing. You always look amazing. Your energy is amazing. I love you so much. You're very like John. When John Bishop brings all the right energy and you bring all the right energy in, hopefully we only have guests on now that do that. We said no to a very well-known guest the other day because we just thought they would not bring the right energy for this show. It'd be a great interview. I would imagine it'd be quite interesting. We get lots of hits on social media, but we said, no, not for us.
I won't ask you the name.
What? You might not ask me the name, right? And I beg you not to say this name out loud, but I'm happy to show you the name, all right? There you go.
I don't think you could be far from the truth.
Right, okay. So fitness-wise, right, have you got something, because of the physical nature of your whole career and your life, have you got something that you have to guard against towards, is it similar to what we might, how do you do that? Give us some fitness hacks.
You mean from my fitness?
Yeah.
I love to do the yoga.
Right.
I get up and I do my yoga, and I love my brass monkey cold bath that I plunge in from the tips of my toes to the top of my head. Yes. Freezing.
Good morning to the brass monkey massive. They can't make them fast enough. That's what I've heard.
I'm telling you, unbelievable experience on that. I like to do my Peloton walker when I have time.
Right.
Even 15 minutes is better than none at all.
All movement.
10,000 steps I try to get in. I have my watch on. I try to do 10,000 steps. I always take the stairs. I never do the elevator, except if it's in this building where you're really high up.
We're actually very close to the height of Everest, aren't we?
But generally, I just like to keep moving.
I'll tell you what I found, Shirley.
Actually, you're looking really good. I saw you doing your sit-ups when I came in. I was very impressed. I only did that
because I knew you were in. But I've discovered, because I played football stupidly in the summer for about a minute, and I couldn't. I can run. I ran 20 miles on Saturday. I ran 30 miles a week before. Not a problem, right? Nowadays. But 10 minutes of football, couldn't walk for 5 days.
Then you didn't stretch properly.
No, it wasn't that, Shell. It wasn't that.
Really?
It was left to right, because I'm not doing my left to right.
Oh.
So, it's lateral movement as opposed to long. So I'm now focusing on moving, like anything to do with a crab, I'm in. Left and right, left and right.
Oh, that's the tango, that's built, the basic in the... Oh, that's a Cuban break.
But it's
in
also...
cha-cha-cha, wow.
That you got to get that going on, haven't you? Because,
you do.
And also, we don't walk backwards enough. Because lots of people just don't walk backwards. And it's very, very good for you.
Well, I do foxtrot every day in the studio, so I'm walking backwards all the time. There were some decent moves there.
Thank you very much.
Bit of bachata going on in those hips.
Look, if they need a Nick Nell super sub, I am available, but I'm probably not invited anymore.
Oh, you will be invited.
So what is going on with Nick? Is he okay?
Well, apparently he's possibly on the mend,
he's the big
but I'm
story,
not sure.
Isn't he?
Yes,
this is the big
because
story.
I think he hurt. I'm not really sure what body parts he hurt. Was it his foot, his hand, or something like that?
I think it was most body parts.
In most body parts. I think with everybody on Strictly, it's all body parts. But we are hoping that by the weekend he will be back, because he's an asset to the show for sure.
Because as you get older, you need to take things more seriously. I feel better now than I've ever felt in my life, but I've done the work. And signing up for Strictly when you're of a certain age, if you've not lunged for a while and things like, because there's a lot of getting up, isn't there? There's a lot of...
Well, how about putting those dance shoes on for the ladies with the 2.5 to 3 inch heels when you've wore flats all your life, or tennis shoes? They have to get tilts the weight in a different place, so every bone in the body is going to ache. The amount of blisters that you see, the amount of aches and pains, they're working hard every single day. But by the end of the show, they're in tip-top shape, and hopefully they go away and they keep that
Changes their life.
Changes their life.
We had on the show last week talking about the sports that are best for you to play as you get older. And apparently tennis is the number one thing you can do that's good for you as you get older, because it involves all those
muscles.
Well, you're down here, you're squatting, you're bending down, you're reaching out, you're stretching above your head to serve. Lots of people don't put their arms above their head for years when they get to a certain age.
And do you play tennis?
No, but I'm thinking of starting.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I don't play either, so maybe you and I could have our first tennis game
Should we do
together. I'm good with a bit of ping pong.
Every time Shirley comes in, she invites me to do something. I think one
I'm
day...
happy to do a little tennis game with you there.
We should do something, shouldn't we? By the way, thanks for coming to Carfest.
Oh, I had a ball. I had a most beautiful little girl who was crying, came sat on the stage with me, and she was just overwhelmed. The whole experience was
How many
fabulous.
thousands of people did you get on your stage?
Thousands upon thousands of people were at Carfest. I suggest everybody goes there.
Will you come next year again?
Absolutely.
You're going to stay a bit longer, maybe?
Anything for you.
I'd do anything for you, Chris. Anything, cause you mean everything to me. Would you restrict the number of questions? Anything.
You have no restriction.
No, I know.
You don't have a restriction. You don't.
Right, so we are, this is it, isn't it? It's like we're October, November, December. The big show's on the telly Saturday night. It's live. It's also on Sunday as well. And the book's out. And it's all systems go, isn't it?
Have you been watching Strictly?
I've got to confess, I haven't. Purely because my life is so busy at the moment. But I'll get into it.
I flew in as Mary Poppins at the weekend.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did, on a long wire. Was way up in the ceiling.
Did it go down great guns?
It went down great.
No, I promise you. I always get it into the pointy when it gets to the pointy end.
We've got a great cast. It's going to be difficult to send
Go
anybody
on, runners
home.
and riders.
Well, Christmas Causland is an absolute hoot, and as we know, he can't see, and the work that Diana's done with him is something like I've never witnessed in my entire life.
Right, so that's a proper human story.
Yeah, JB, brilliant. Wyn Evans brings that humour. He did Mrs. Doubtfire dancing with his vacuum cleaner. Fabulous. Toya Wilcott, all of them actually. Dr. Poonam did an Indian number. It was something
already good
I've never witnessed in my entire life. She was
and those opening numbers, the big show openers, are they as good as ever?
Brilliant. Pete Wicks flew in on a rope, like Tarzan in his lovely little leopard outfit. It was rather brief, the outfit, but he did amazingly well, building his confidence. Shane up there. Jamie did a quick step. Fabulous. Montel with a tango. Paul Merson, we saved him. We saved him. And Sam Quek, she was great in a Paso Doble. So normally, your first 6 weeks, you think, okay, this one's going, that one's going. But I tell you, Chris, you are not going to want to let anybody go on this show. It's definitely something that you have to tune in to. Okay, no, definitely. You got me across the line again. I just keep, it's a new year, it's a new series. You think, I'll watch it. Obviously, I do have a million children, but they do love it. They do love it. Certainly tea time's crazy for us, but anyway. Shirley Ballas, Dance to the Death, it's out now. I loved it, says Anton Dubek. Of course, he writes his own versions of these books. He does, but he loves to read mine because mine are saucy, he said. Have you ever had a book off with him? No, I haven't had a book off with him. I had a few things with him, but I haven't had a book off with him. You should definitely get together and do something like that. Shirley, you are a ray of light. I love the fact. I love the fact you always come and see us. You're more than welcome. You're always welcome. You light up my life. Oh, shush. You're the same. You do. How great is Shirley Ballas, everyone? Yay! Come on, let's hear it. Can you do us a favour when you go back to Shirley? Please tell them that we love them. I will. And everything's cool. I will. I will tell them that they are so loved. Everything is cool. We love them. The whole team there. The best put together, the best produced show on TV in Great Britain right now. No question about it. Maybe in the world. To pull off that show. You've got to remember, Strictly people, if you're any good, you're always going to get stones thrown at you. Yeah. It's when they stop throwing the stones you need to worry. Then you're kaput. Yeah. And you every Saturday you get together and you put on that live show, that spectacular show, the likes of which are just not happening anywhere in the world anymore. There's less call for it, of course there is, but there's less people who can do it whilst there is still call for it. So you should get in there. And we're 55% share of the TV this week. Of course. People love it. It brings light to people's lives. Long may it rain. Of course. When it's over, you'll regret, and it's a strong word, regret. You'll regret any moment you didn't enjoy just being there. So just be there. Yeah. Oh. There you go.